done that, is what I want to say about it. Maybe what we should be doing is contacting attorneys first in order to educate them about what's happening with our community, and not so much, hey, can we get some litigation going? Because I just am a firm believer that education is the key. And I think that all we got to do is reach one or two people, really, in the legal community, to get something cohesive going. And a lot of times they offer free consultations. I think we should take advantage of those free consultations where we can to educate them, and maybe look at it from that end of things. So just something to think about.
Hey, Frank, how do you mute on? I'm on the phone. I'm using an app. How do you mute yourself? Do you have any idea?
I've never actually called in. Okay, speak. Speak.
Speak?
Yeah.
Speak. Oh, you know what?
I show you his computer.
Okay. You know what I found? On the right-hand bottom corner, I found it. So thank you.
Okay, great. So, Kate, do you think you could start the meeting with a prayer?
This sounds great.
Oh, she might have hopped off.
Or she'll be back, yeah.
So, does anybody have anything they'd like to bring up tonight? Sandy, I know we've been playing phone tag as well.
Yeah, a little bit. That's okay. I understand. Believe me, we all have a life outside of what's being done to us, so that's no problem. We'll touch base. It's
Okay. Because what we're trying to do within the next, I don't know, couple of days or 2 or 3 days is I've thought about it. I think it's going to take 3 mailings to do it, just for RSVP. In other words, are you going to Washington or are you not? So I think I'm going to do that in 3 stages, and that way...
How about a maybe?
Excuse me?
How about a maybe?
Okay, you can... Well, it's getting time...
I want to go, and I won't have trouble with the funding. It's how to get there.
Okay.
So that isn't English for me yet.
Okay, that's not going to be a problem, because what you will also get is a map where everything is going to occur, a map where we are all going to meet as a group.
No. I mean, I'm going to have a problem getting to D.C. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I'm not worried about hooking up. I'll find you.
Okay, well, I can...
How about a bus?
Go ahead.
What about a bus?
Well, that's it. I haven't explored any of my methods of transportation. I will be doing that. So I'll get back to you on yes, no, or maybe.
Yeah, I've tried to talk Paul into going from Peabody.
Is he going?
I am not sure yet. As far as I know, he has commitments. But
Okay.
I have to see who is going in my car. You might end up there too, or we'll have to figure that out. But that's what...
I don't mind taking a bus or I consider that an adventure. So it's not a hardship for me.
Okay, as long as it's
they run the mega bus out of Boston, which is really cheap, a really cheap bus ride down. I mean, run it out of Boston to DC. I'm pretty sure. So Mega is called. MEGA, and they have really low fare fares.
Right, but I
and
mean, is this like a Greyhound type of thing?
yes,
Is that the name of the company, Megabus?
Megabus, yes.
Okay.
And also,
Oh,
I
okay.
know Amtrak runs out of there daily, but I don't have anything on the price of that yet. But obviously, the earlier you book that.
If the round trip is reasonable, I'd love to take a train. I think it would be fun.
Yeah, trains are nice. So, but the earlier you book that, the better price you're going to get on that. And it's just a little more comfortable, obviously, than the bus. So, but again, Megabus.
Are you going? Are you going?
It's my plan to go. I've been having some medical issues, but this is so important. I just really think it's incumbent upon all who can make it to go there. So yes, I am definitely planning on going, but like I said, right now I'm not driving, so I'm going to have to get transportation down there and back myself. So, but I'm in New Hampshire, so my best bet is to get to Boston and then get down there from
Right.
Boston.
Yeah. Are you near Portland or where?
No,
no, the train goes up to where?
Well, I can get.
There's a train out of Maine, isn't
Keene.
there?
No, I'm in Keene, so I can get the Greyhound from Keene and into Boston, and then so get there from there. So, but it's so important. We all need to try and get down there.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, you guys were talking before I interrupted as usual, and I'm sorry. You were talking about transportation and what you were doing with sending out emails and stuff, Frank.
Oh, Barb, we're all used to that, and plus I met you yesterday, so you can do that. But
I can do that.
Yeah, we were actually.
You know something? Is that a picture of you on the internet?
I have one with me sitting standing next to my motorcycle. That's it.
You're looking down into the camera. Is that you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Well, I was going to say, you're much better looking in person in your picture. You should retake your picture to show how truly handsome you are.
Oh, thank you so much, Barb. I don't know what to do.
There you go.
I just turned so red I burned the headset right.
How did you like the meeting?
I liked it very much.
Listen, here's an idea. I want you to really listen. This just popped into my head. Remember when I was talking about that Dr. Walcott, Alan Walcott?
Yes.
The one that interviewed me at the Mass General Hospital, that the doctors called in as a specialist to interview me to see if I was violent.
Yeah, I remember you.
Now I don't know if he flew in at the hospital's expense or the government's expense, but it would be a really good way to get out of the hospital or cause them some problems. Insist on being interviewed by this guy and for a propensity of violence, and you can tell the doc, we can get this over real quick. Send to this guy, Alan Walcott, works for the government, to come and interview me. Now, if the hospital finds out it's a big fee and they got to pay it, they might not like that and kick you out. Or if the government pays for it, good. Have them come and interview you. Then it's on your record and fuck them. I mean, look at Jeff. How many times has he been in there?
Half a dozen times anyway, I think.
Yeah. Well, how does he get out? Because they kept him in there for 6 months one time, didn't they?
I don't think it was quite that long, no. Can someone call Jeff? Because To date, I have not gotten his phone number, and he is unaware of this call totally.
I don't have his number.
Yeah.
I can text him right now, Frank.
Okay, thank you.
Was that Kate?
Yep.
Hey, Frank, also, I just wanted to say that I'm not going to contact the, since the event's on the 24th and 25th, the media that I plan on contacting in the area, in the D.C. area and I guess surrounding areas, I didn't want to do that really until about maybe 2 weeks prior to the event initially, and then contact them again the week before, and then let's say 2 days or so prior to the actual event. What's that sound like?
Does everybody have audio? Because I have one individual who does not.
I have what? Does what?
Somebody does not have audio. So.
Oh, I have audio.
Can you hear me, Frank?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, I was talking earlier. No one could hear me. Maybe it's because I just dialed in.
That's.
I wanted to mention to that woman who just spoke about getting in touch with the media. Well, D.C. is surrounded by a large black population. Have you thought of any of the black newspapers, too?
Yes, I have. Can you hear me?
Just barely. Sumaya keeps interrupting.
Yeah,
Hi, Sumaya.
I'm actually going to contact a lot of media, including college papers, American College. So get the young kids out there too. So I have a pretty good list that I'm going to be contacting, but I was just wondering about.
And so are you, because you're serving him.
Well, the kids are really important because they are the future, and this is in their future.
Right. And they're kind of fired up right now about a lot of things, so I think that'll be a good tack to use. But I've got a list, believe me. But I'm more concerned about whether, Frank, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so what do you think about that time frame? 2 weeks prior, then the week prior, then about 2 days ahead, and also on the day of, I think would be good too.
That depends upon, I guess, the degree of saturation. Are you going to contact them once? If you're going to contact them once and you know somebody there, that's good. If it's sort of like somebody that you don't know, I think I'd probably get closer to the event.
Well, I was just thinking because so many things are happening on an almost daily basis, and it is Washington, that, you know, I want to make sure that they're getting the word out is all. So, you know, it's all good.
No, that's fine. If you want to start 2 weeks prior, that sounds great to me. It depends upon your relationship, I guess, with the agencies.
Yeah.
I think repetition for any of them is great. You know, the more you repeat something to them, the more they might pay attention to it, or it catches their attention the second time or the third time, the fourth time. And just keep telling them, listen, this is important. That's how I would do it, but you can do it any way you want. This is just a suggestion. I would say, listen, this is important to your future as far as how you're going to live your private life, if you have any, or something like that. I don't know. You know, just knock them over the head with the first sentence is what I would do.
Okay.
You know,
It sounds like a good idea.
you know, you got to get their attention, because people, if it's mediocre, even I do it. I just pass by. gotta have something that catches my attention. It's even in my mail and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know. I guess I'm an American. What can I say?
I'm just trying to help somebody else get audio.
How did you like the meeting?
Oh, I liked it very much. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, good.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, I know Sumaya was on here and someone else, so I'll yield the floor.
Okay, I've got Nancy Allen calling in from California. She cannot get audio. Is there a trick that you guys are doing to get audio? I know sometimes in the beginning there was a number.
Reboot, just get out of the app completely, hang up, reboot. That's the only way I found that it worked for me.
Okay. Yep, she just left. She's going to try that.
And sometimes you got to do it 2 or 3 times.
Well, there was an audio number. Now, I don't know.
Right, an audio pin.
Yeah, an audio pin, right. It should be 2 digits.
You should contact them and ask them if you can have that, or maybe, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I actually do not get that pin. Just the caller does.
I never got one. They never told me one.
Okay.
So how would you get one? What is that noise? You hear that noise?
Yep, I found it.
I can hear that noise.
What is it?
This is Dave.
Oh, well, what is the noise?
No, it's not Dave doing it. I'm just saying that I can hear it.
I think I found it.
Hi, Dave. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing okay. They're targeting me pretty heavily right now, but
Maybe that's what we're hearing.
No. That's somebody who does not have a name yet, who's waiting for a name. Okay, how does that work?
Wonderful. That's much better.
yeah.
Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, now I don't know if that was done intentionally or whether he just had a problem with his system.
That could even be if someone's on a respirator or something. It could even be something like that. Hard
Let's
to know.
try him again.
Maybe
Sounds like a
it's
good guy.
Tyrone Dew. Do you know what happened to him?
Okay, I'm going to see what I can do here.
Hey, Memoir.
Who's this?
This is Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Hey, Frank. How's it going?
Okay, how you doing, Paul?
Hanging in there. I got your message about Springfield. I hope everything is okay.
Yes. I left. When I left, everything was just fine.
Good. Good. Glad to hear it, Frank. Thanks for all you do for us. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
Are you going to D.C., Paul?
No, I'm not going to D.C. I can't go to D.C. with my situation with my dogs. Are you going by any chance?
Yeah, I'm thinking of really going either bus or train.
Awesome. Well, if you can do it, and I think it's a wonderful thing. I really do. I wish I was able to go.
Why don't you go and bring your dog?
Yeah, with three dogs, I don't think that's going to work.
Sure.
Yeah. No. But thank you for the invite.
You know, a good way to meet women or men is to go out and walk your dogs, because people love to pet dogs, especially if they're good looking.
I'll bring my chihuahua. It can be a snack for him.
Maybe you can get a dog sitter / walker for 2 days.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
It's not. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I never get sitters. We don't leave. We don't go on vacation at all. Period. So, sorry.
Paul doesn't want to go. I can hear it in his steely voice. But that's okay, Paul. Next year you'll be brave. Next year you'll go.
That's not right. I would like to. I mean, I would like to go, but like I said, my dogs come first. I'm not going to put them second. And I don't have somebody to watch them, so I'm not going to go. But I wish everybody else the best. I really do.
We'll
so much, Paul.
carry on in
What's that?
your name.
What was
Go
that?
ahead, Frank. Frank said thank you very much for the effort, and I'm saying we'll carry on in your name.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. I really do. Thank you.
I'll carry a big sign that says Paul was here.
That would be a lie. Paul was here in spirit, maybe, but
Right,
Paul
in
wasn't
spirit. There we go.
But plus, one of my dogs unfortunately has cancer. So.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear it.
Yeah. Thanks, Frank. So.
How long have you known that?
What's that?
How long have you known that?
We found out probably about a month and a half ago. So, yeah. With the lung.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it is too bad. So.
And I suppose neither one of you smoke, and there's no secondhand smoke in the house. No.
No. There isn't. And we had a dog. We actually had 4 because we had, a lot of our dogs are rescues. And to be honest with you, one died kind of mysteriously last year. So it's just, I know. Didn't you have dogs, Barbara, at one point?
Yes,
Yeah, I had two Akitas.
Those are nice dogs.
They're beautiful. God, they're beautiful dogs.
Hi, excuse me. When you're looking for causes of cancer in both animals and people, one of the first things I'd look for is for the presence of wireless radiation, Wi-Fi. Cell phones, wireless modems, proximity to cell towers, smart meters on your house or where you live. That's a big one. So that is a very prominent cause these days of the cancer epidemic. Thought I'd mention that.
No, I appreciate it. So.
How can you shield from those things?
Unplug them.
The thing is not to use them. Don't buy them. Don't use them. Resist. Get rid of the.
Well, I was more or less thinking about the meter.
Well, interestingly enough, thank you, Frank, for letting me know about this call. I'm going to have to leave because my town here in Northern California is winning against the monster utility company.
Hello. Where are you? Oh, Mommy's running away. I almost got it. Oh, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just that, it's just a very slight. Yeah, that drainer isn't working. Yeah.
What's the question?
Malfunction? Oh, okay, good. Well, we'll fix it.
Okay. I gotta talk with PG&E's legal department, so I'll catch you all later.
Just now. Okay,
Yeah, keep us informed.
You ought to really.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Keep
You
us
and text me by
informed.
5.
Frank, is there any way that we can mute one? You know, like, is there any mute mechanism on this call at all?
I can mute anyone that is a problem, and I can
I'm not asking
I can
mute
mute the whole-
anybody else. I was wondering if we could mute ourselves.
Yes, Ella said that at the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side, there is a mute button. She found it herself.
Oh, right, and I have one on my phone too. Okay, well anyway, I'll like I said, I do have some ideas to contribute to you know the cause of regaining our health and freedom and so forth. But I do. This is Friday, and there's just there's like an hour and a half left or so in the business day, and I do want to catch the PG&E's legal department while I can. Because they are backing down. I just got the newspaper, you know, in their response to my city, my little town, telling them that we don't really care to have their smart meters, and you know, they are essentially caving and trying to save face. So, but the thing that I want.
Wonderful. What town is that?
It's Sebastopol, California. It's 50 miles north of San Francisco and 15 miles about inland from the Pacific Ocean. It's gorgeous here, and we've got a bunch of eccentrics and a hippie community. It also has a lot of vineyards and redwoods, and it's just beautiful. And we've got a lot of free thinkers, I suppose you might call them. We've got more than our share of writers, artists, and people like that. Musicians, a bunch of them. And they're party animals. They are just partying all to hell this weekend, today included, because it's Earth Day, you know, and they're all pretty much devoted, a bunch of do-gooders trying to save the Earth. Don't you know? That's something else I was thinking, you know, a lot of the people that could, and if it appealed to them, they could be out at a table at Earth Day events distributing information about the TI issue, well, and also the EMF issue. And I hope to Christ, you know, by this time next year on Earth Day, that the EMF and electronic assault and stuff has become more of the common language. So anyway, well, I'll catch you all later. Carry on. You're doing great.
On what you just said, I noticed I get more belief or more willingness to listen when I discuss EMF than when I go into TI. So it is a great intro to try to get people to understand.
You know what's really good with the police is telling them that the radar cops are coming down with cancer, because that pulse of radar has to leave the gun, hit the license plate, and bounce back at the gun while the cop's holding the gun. And they found that radar cops are getting more cancer. And like in our town, they have that license plate readers. Well, this will read a license plate that's 360 degrees out from any cop car. So basically, he's sitting in that frequency his whole shift. And also, they're going to start wearing cameras on their chest. They're trying them out in Boston, and I don't know if those are shielded or not. And now I hear they're going to make them into surveillance cameras. And I told them I don't know if they're shielded from that either. And plus, there's cell phones, and then they get the laptop computer with Wi-Fi, I'm sure, in their police cars. These guys are all going to come down with wicked cancer in a few years, if not now.
already happened. We've had two of them. We've had a retired police chief die of cancer. We had another, I went to his memorial, a 45-year-old cop right here in this wonderful town also died of cancer. But that is a key, wonderful, easy way to get your local cop is by telling him or her that, educate them about their exposure to EMFs. And you're absolutely right.
A lot of the shades we're wearing was microwave as well. I know that came out in some lawsuits in England.
Wi-Fi
it's a wonderful lead-in, Sumaya. It's a wonderful lead-in.
It is. Oh.
Yeah. I sent a letter to the chief of police in Peabody, and I told him just that. And then I told him I've been at Target since 1995-6, and I've had cancer 3 times from the targeting. Wow. So, if you use that type, if your police in your town use this technology like mine does, I mean, they can read a license plate from the time they go over the line to the next town and the line. I don't know how they do that. They weren't talking, but I got a thank you from 2 of the state troopers, and I got a thank you from one of the other towns. So evidently they're passing it around.
Right, it would be a good idea if you all, when you go to Washington, it'd be nice if you had some information, a flyer that was sort of, I hate to use the word targeting, but anyway, it was, for cops to let them know about all the EMF and microwave exposure that they are subjected to and assaulted by themselves just in the course of doing their jobs. Because it is kind of key.
How about the military? How about the military?
Well, for sure. Them too.
Yeah.
Well, everybody. There's nobody that's excluded from being fried nowadays, and they're turning up the heat, if we let them get away with it with the 5G and these new small cell distribution system thingies that they're absolutely planning on and already putting on some of the stop signs and utility poles. Got to be stopped.
Is this Sue?
This is EMF Linda.
Oh, EMF Linda. Oh, I'm sorry, Linda. I was getting confused. I got you confused with somebody else. I heard somebody said Sumaya, so sorry about that.
Oh, I thought it was Sumaya. Sorry.
We're like kind of 2 different temperaments. I thought my voice was pretty distinctive, not all that lovely to listen to, but distinctive.
Okay, EMF Linda. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll let you go. These conversations with some of these decision makers, like the policymaker for smart meters, they can be fun. Well, I guess if you're, they are for me anyway.
Can you make a tape?
It's probably not worth it. I just sit back and look at the results because, some conversations with the key people, like for instance, like I've said time and time again, I sort of unilaterally, single-handedly kept smart meters out of this 60-unit apartment complex just by making a few phone calls. And not that many. I didn't, it's just to the right people and using the right words, which ended up being a threat to expose their nasty asses to the public, if they put any smart meters in here. And which they did not. Here we are, except they sneaked a couple of them in, but I already got those out.
Did you talk to your neighbors about it and tell them what was going on?
Oh, no, that would have been way too hard. I would have had to break a sweat trying to convince people, or just like their cell phones. That would have been too big a job for me. It was just much easier just to go straight to the perpetrator, you know, and tell them, you know, that if they continued doing this electronic assault via smart meters, that they were going to be exposed by me. And I didn't even have to do it. They just caved. So anyway, but now, you know, I'm going to have another little talk with them because I want them to get the rest of the ones out of this town that they already put in.
Good for you. My hat's off to you, dear.
What's the population? What's the population where you are, the town? About
what?
10,000. What is the population of the town? 10,000, 8,000?
7,500. 7,500. A bunch of do-gooders, I'm telling you. There's a bunch of hippies that, old hippies like myself, kind of.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay too.
All right. Well, I'll let you know how it goes. I gotta catch him while it's still the business day.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. And moi.
Auf Wiedersehen.
And later, too. See you next time.
Wow. Wow.
I think we covered all the
Frank?
advice. Yeah.
Just quick question for you. I was just on the targeted website, and there's this Deborah Uhl in big bold letters that says, "I'm coming to Boston May 2nd." I don't know who she is. Is she some type of activist or something, or?
That's a mystery.
I saw that too. Yeah. You don't know who she is either, Frank?
No, I will shortly though. I put a message into her.
Thanks, because it's like, you know, in these bold letters, it's like you'd expect almost like a celebrity here coming or something, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I knew she wrote a book.
Maybe she did.
You know.
We'll tell her to come May 24th instead.
There you go. I would really like to write up a paper and print out a bunch as a letter to the police department, you know, form it in the form of a letter, and just say, I sent this to my local police department, you should be informed too, or something like that. I don't know. Would you mind if I did that?
Not at all.
Oh, okay, good. I think that's going to be my venue.
Yeah, I've been to the PBD police several times when my targeting started there, Barbara. It's just, you don't get very far.
Oh, not at all. This town is tight as a tick. And everybody on the police department and city hall is related to each other, either through blood or marriage.
I believe it.
Like, I know here in Waco, they were very supportive, but they just said, you know, we don't have the resources to do anything about this. We know it's real. We believe you. So what can we do? You know, so they were very supportive. They didn't draw up any of the psychiatric things that you hear horror stories about everywhere. And, you know, they suggested escalating it above their heads because they just did not have the resources to battle it.
Who said this? Was this your police department?
That was my police department, and that's Waco, Texas.
They can tell the perps. They can tell the perps to cut it out.
I've heard some serious horror stories about people that have gone to the police department. I really wasn't aware of this community, but my police were very supportive. It's just, you know, they said we don't have the. What do you want us to do? We can look for the signals. We don't have that equipment. We don't, and if we have that equipment in place, how can we enforce it when we find them?
You're lucky in a way because our police department up here, and Barbara will tell you, a lot of them are actually complicit in the targeting themselves. So I'm not saying every single one of them are, but a lot of them are. So it's, you know, it's a difficult situation, and it's not just PB; it's surrounding towns too.
But there's
Which
laws
town?
in the
Which
book.
town was that?
Wait a minute. There's laws in the book that make that illegal.
What's that?
Can you tell me the
Targeting.
name of this city? What state and town? The person that's talking about the police said they're aware of it. What state is that in?
We're in PB, Massachusetts.
You're telling me the police in Peabody, Mass. have said that they're aware of these weapons?
No,
Oh, no,
no,
that
no,
was
no,
the guy
no,
from Texas.
That was
Texas said
Waco, Texas. He said when I went through the information with him, the different websites and stuff, he said he believed me. And, there was just no way to counter it for them. Oh.
May I say something?
Sure.
Many police are aware of this, but even if they do care, I mean, some of them are definitely involved in doing this to us, but those who might care can't do anything. The CIA controls the police. So we need to go higher up and change something higher up so that they can't continue to do what they do. So that
He recommended escalating it. The local police department, he said it was really outside of anything they were capable of prosecuting unless, I needed to escalate it to people that have the resources.
I've learned...
Right. There are laws on the books against this, but this is federally mandated. This program comes right from the feds.
There's also a number of private investigators that have been caught selling this as a weapon. So, or, for instances of child, et cetera, trying to get custody of children. Back a few years ago, it was fairly popular to find websites with private investigators offering this as a service.
There's an area that we haven't really explored yet. If anyone has, I would like to hear about it. And that is the InfraGard. They are supposed to be the liaison between the police departments, we'll say the FBI and government, or at least...
Well, they are FBI.
Well, I have to learn that for sure before I can actually say so. That's one.
If you go to their website, it's all peaches and cream.
There's a gentleman that's in the PI community that's a part of the InfraGard. That's what he was saying on the other conference call, on PAC's conference call.
Frank, I'm on their site right now, so basically just what it says as the intro is InfraGard is a partnership between the FBI and members of the private sector. The InfraGard program provides a vehicle for seamless public-private collaboration with government that expedites the timely exchange of information and promotes mutual learning opportunities relevant to the protection of critical infrastructure. So, okay, so with thousands of vetted members nationally, that's a problem. InfraGard's membership includes business executives, entrepreneurs, military and government officials, computer professionals, academia, and state and local law enforcement, each dedicated to contributing industry-specific insight and advancing national security.
Okay.
Critical infrastructures are the assets, systems, and networks, whether physical or virtual, so vital to the United States that their incapacitation or destruction would have a debilitating effect on security, national economic security, national public health, or safety, or any combination thereof.
Okay, maybe the InfraGard is somebody, or actually a faction that we should address with possibly a letter just to
Absolutely
test the water and see what we get back. Because...
Holy shit.
They have 84 chapters with more than 54,000 members nationwide. A lot of those chapters are on the East Coast, and there's a little map. A lot of those little blue dots on the map run from, let's say, looks like, I don't know, I don't have a very good picture of this map, but along the East Coast, let's say from Philly up to the New England area, there's a very large concentration of those dots on the map in that area. Some more that are not as heavily interspersed on the map, but from looks like maybe North Carolina down to Florida. As you go farther west, there's less dots.
All right. Well, I think
Frank.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say you can go to Infraguard, but I really don't think it's going to do any good. They're like someone had mentioned, the FBI is the one that hires these people who work for Infraguard, and they are the main group that do the gang stalking. I mean, you can go to them, but I don't think it's going to do any good. We need to go higher up. I think we need to take this to Congress.
Well, if you talk,
Congress knows about it. They know about it. Here's something from their site though that may be of interest. So this is kind of relative to just what happened with Bill O'Reilly and the advertisers. I think we should contact the people on the companies and the CEOs on the Fortune 500 and major advertisers and let them know what's going on and see what response we'll get.
This is a little bit off topic. I don't want to ruin any momentum, but has anybody ever tried flyering neighborhoods and areas like that to see if that helps with the organized stalking, electronic harassment? I was just wondering.
Doing what?
Have tried flyering, printed flyers, saying that there's organized stalking in this area, be aware, such and such, and usually it'll have the bottom www.fightgangstalking.com, something like that. I was just wondering if anybody has done that and what results you got.
I know several TIs that did flyers, but I don't know what was written on them. And I don't know anything else. But I know a bunch of people did do that. Several times.
Gee, Barbara, maybe that's something you and I can do. I'd be interested in doing that.
Handing out flyers?
Well, trying to do something, They're not stopping on their own, that's for sure. So.
Well, I used to hand out flyers when I first started this a long time ago. As a matter of fact, I used to write a letter instead of a flyer and print up a whole bunch of copies.
As far as talking about the Infraguard, if we can go back to that for a second.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's relevant to me, especially. I've noticed, the amount of people involved, and I live in Newport, Rhode Island, the amount of people involved, and there's always law enforcement around, has been amazing to me. But in addition to that, the corporations involved are where the gang stalking and instances are occurring, and sometimes weapons testing or whatever they're doing, like Walmart, Starbucks, Cumberland Farms. So that would make sense to me that these companies are maybe in part of Infraguard. I always wondered how in the world are these Walmart, and I've gone shopping in Massachusetts too to get away from it, and it's still there. It's there in Fall River, Mass too. So I'm wondering if this Infraguard is an enemy of ours. It makes sense to me. I couldn't figure out how these corporations were getting away with it, because stalking is illegal. And to be put on some kind of list, to be put, it's my understanding you have to be put on a list somehow. Like if you file a police report against one of their friends, they can put you on their list, and then here we go. Then there you go.
Right.
And I think that's what I tried to file a police report, and that's what happened. I believe that all stems. So I believe I concur with what the lady was saying about, these either the companies that are involved or, hey, it wouldn't, above InfraGard,
Right. They're all involved. Medical, all the organizations are involved.
Well, if medical's
All of them.
involved and there's federal HIPAA laws, I'm pretty sure, and it is true, I've had some on medical stalking incidences or, so definitely, where there's federal funds. So it's pretty obvious to me that this is a problem with me. And I have no criminal record. I actually am a victim of a crime I live on subsidized housing property. So private property though. So that's how my situation got started. But I think that is interesting, though, InfraGard. I didn't even know that was in public information. Because the fusion centers too. The fusion centers also. If you go Google your fusion center, every state has a fusion center. So it's the fusion centers, and it depends on what kind of scale this is being done to you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's fine. I was just, just going to interject that I've talked to some targets who have been targeted individuals for 20 plus years, and they've just said after 9/11 how the targeting has gotten a lot more intense, and it's just how it's just grown so rapidly. Whereas before it was kind of like, it would just kind of move along, but after 9/11 with all these, like you just said, fusion centers in place and the InfraGard and all these different types of places that weren't online before 9/11 that have since come online, the PI's targeting has just gone through the roof, as it were,
The government was basically given carte blanche after 9/11. So what happened is they looked at everybody. They were given permission. That was supposed to be stopped. Many went on, and they haven't stopped yet. And that's why I brought up InfraGard, because that seems to have floated to the surface, and that's what I want to see. I'm going to go ahead.
This has been going on. I was born in 1960. This has been going on. My mother recognized it in '68 of the enormity of what this was all about. She was saying the truth to her kids. I'm one of them. And in '68, she could see some of them are. It was prevalent throughout society in 1968, Newport, Rhode Island. Some of the phone people, the liquor store owner. This one, that one, this one, that one. It was well entrenched in society in the 1960s. Okay, without technology, before there were car phones, these people kept in touch with one another through. Actually, the car phones, people didn't have them yet, but they did. They were military intelligence, and they were mafia, and it's CIA. This is how long this has been going on in this country. People have no clue. It's worse now with the advent. The technology has gone. It's blown right past us in the last 70 years. You wouldn't believe, being a kid, and it was like secret agent stuff, and what 007 was about was the reality on Aquidneck Island, Newport, Middletown, Portsmouth, where I grew up. So it's everywhere. It's saturated. And it's been saturated since I was born in 1960. Okay, so to lay that truth out is my reality. You have to have lived it to know that that was the truth, and that was what people could see, that could see it. Not the ones that are involved with it, but the actual victims of it. So like it's older than all of us almost. I'm not bullshitting either, you know. Especially when you're at the front line of it, growing up from 1960 onwards, right at the front line of it, but didn't realize that your loving parent is trying to. She had a lot to. How the hell can she tell 8-year-old kids and 10-year-old kids and a 2-year-old kid what's really going on in this world? You can't. You can't say everything. That was then, in the 60s.
Good
okay?
news, dude. 1960. Let's take a good look at you there, huh? How you doing?
Yeah, well, considering the fucking abuse, I'm still walking and talking. So it's a shock to people that have no experience in it or memory of it when they come to know how deep and how long it's been going on. That's why Kennedy, in 63, when they killed him, it really took off in 63. It was really, it was still overt, but it was like hammering you. Because that's one of the things he wanted to do. He wanted to blow that thing into a million pieces. Well, he shouldn't have said that. Because they blew his fucking head off in a million pieces, you know? You got to remember the history of it. I mean, they were saying it. Eisenhower said it. They could see it. It was unbelievable in the 50s what they could do. So illegal. You got to move out of that consciousness, which you think it's all illegal. You know, every goddamn law that's written in the books is broken. Everything. You know, it's a shock to you.
Yeah.
It's an absolute shock.
That was a very big shock for me. Go ahead.
Yeah, you have to move beyond that. It's a shock when you figure it out, you know.
Well, we certainly have more methods to work with than they did in 1960, but certainly, I mean, when you think of all the years it has gone on from the time that Jose Delgado started the bull experiments, all of that, Operation Paperclip, all of that up until now, even, you know, there are some in this group, I know I'm 58, and I know that some may remember the guy who attacked Dan Rather in New York. His name was William Tager, Tager. And when I read his story, actually when the targeting started happening to me and I remembered his story, this was a guy who attacked Dan Rather in New York, and when he attacked him, he was saying to Dan Rather, "What's the frequency, Kenneth? What's the frequency, Kenneth?" And so that sort of kind of triggered in my head, and I read his story, and my God, if this guy wasn't targeted, it's crazy. He shot a stagehand as well, and his life was all kinds of messed up. And it said he believed that messages were being broadcast directly to him on the evening news. So he might have been getting V2K back then. This was in, my goodness, when this was, that was in 1994, so. And then there's Dolores Zazi, the woman in Ohio who was definitely being targeted. And she was her and her children, and she wound up killing her children and killing herself, I believe. And that story just tears my heart out because she couldn't get any help. This was, you know, before people knew what was happening.
Exactly, long before. Some people figured it out because, you know, the husband was, you know, sexually aggressive outside of the marriage. And then there was rage frequency. Then the wife was given the rage frequency. Fucking fights like you can't imagine. The burning bed was child's play by comparison to what my experience was. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it would be possible, you know, in the 60s. So, and a lot of people never made it through any of it. I was one of the very fortunate ones, you know. They experimented to see what frequencies do what way the hell back in the 50s. So, you know, and throughout with kids, I wasn't even in kindergarten, for Christ's sakes. My brother was in the first grade. They were messing with my visual perceptions. You could hear it. So I know now, like what they've been. It's a lifetime of experimentation. You know, entire lifetime of experimentation.
I consider myself very lucky because I have only known of it for a little under 6 years. And so I don't know how that you have endured this so many years.
Well, by the grace of God. By the grace of God. That's it.
May I say something?
Go right ahead.
Yes, this stuff has been going on for an extremely long time, at least since the 40s. I think they're maybe planning it even sooner than that. But I'm sure you guys have heard of the church committee that they had back in I think it was 1975 when they brought the MK Ultra program to light. And I know that after they had this church committee meeting, they said they were going to stop it, and what they did is they just changed names of it and changed agencies that it's under, but it never stopped. Just got on worse with time. I think most of us know that. But I wonder if it won't do any good to. I wonder if it might do some good if we try to have the same kind of thing again and make them aware that this never stopped and it just continued. You know, like I was saying, under different agencies with different names. The church committee was the United States Senate Select Committee to study governmental operations with respect to intelligence activities. And I wonder if it might help us. Maybe we should try to do the same thing again and let them know this time that it never stopped. It, just change names, change agencies, and see if maybe we can do the same kind of thing again, but more effective.
They had a paper. Let me tell you something. The question that was asked to him, he said, "We're not doing that anymore." And that was the trauma-based mind control that I went through. But that was a half-truth because they were already 15, 20 years into working in the radio frequency and microwave range of influencing someone's consciousness in their physical body. So I watched the tape. He said, "We're not doing that anymore," which was the trauma, getting tortured. All right. So they spoke a half-truth during that committee hearing. They were well into bringing it. They were well into bringing it right up and rolling it right out to the whole population. Between that committee hearing, they had to get their asses in gear and get that satellite system going. Between the end of that hearing and when it was going, when they slammed me in 1980. That's the reality of it. Okay. That answer was a half-truth. We're not doing that anymore. Yeah, you don't have to fucking torture a little kid in sessions, suffocating them, sexual abuse, everything. Because they were working on doing it remotely with radio frequency. So, you're dealing... Huh?
I'm having a little trouble hearing you. So I'm trying to understand what you're saying. But are you saying you don't think it would do us any good to try to have another committee like that? To have the United States committee listen to us again? Are you saying you don't think it would do any good?
You could try it, but
we have no choice. Jay, I understand. I understand it's been going a long time with you, but I mean, I don't know what level everyone's having. I have no choice. Like we got to do something.
He was gonna answer my question. You kind of intro. He was gonna answer my question.
I guess they're gonna lie through their teeth no matter what, or twist speak a half truth. What do you got to lose? What do you have to lose? Do you have anything to lose?
Right.
Nothing. Right.
Right.
We'll be dead anyway if we don't. So I will be. It might be too late, but
we
have nothing to lose.
We all have no choice. We have to proceed. We have to get on the road and get this done and eliminate it.
Follow the guidance, your inner guidance. Your inner guidance is going to be your compass.
And from my perspective, it's never too late. Some of us may not survive it, but for me, my children are involved, so that's why I'm in it.
Right. Now, this is not a sexual or sexist comment, but when women get together because of their numbers alone, their sheer numbers, and they protest, they get things done, okay? That's why we have to pool all our resources, all our people that we can get together. And this is what will make a difference, the numbers. Okay, if 2 people have this, oh, well, just, throw them in the state hospital. If hundreds and thousands of people have this and they flood Washington, it's not going to go away anymore.
Yeah, this is prime time. We need to make connections with, like, even Bill O'Reilly. Like, he was forced to be fired by Fox because of the women, national women's organizations. All these other organizations are out there. The Women's March, all these marches, all these other people. Now, we need to get to them. Now, I mean, it depends on your situation, but my communication, anyone would benefit me, it's usually stopped. So we need people who aren't targeted. I mean, everyone's targeting, I guess, sounds different, but sometimes it's 100%. I mean, things I've never even heard of on this call have been done to me. So.
Can I add something to that? I feel like there are so many different groups that we can reach out to. I think anyone who's involved in human rights, animal rights, environmental rights, and the list goes on. Anyone who, the one thing all these groups have in common is that they care. They want to try to make the world a better place, and I feel like those are good places to reach out to.
We can all do it individually. If someone can get to these people, like on Facebook, you can go to National Women's Organization, National Justice, I don't know, Judicial Watch, I don't even know what that is. But, I mean, there are so many things with the Internet these days. Or, if you live in New York, running into one of these media people.
Follow the contemplation of the spiritual exercise or meditation and ask God, what do you want me to do? Show me the way. What do you want me to do? And let the Holy Spirit guide you in where your efforts will be, you vibrate your assets and whatnot, and just follow the guide of your inner guide, the Holy Spirit. It'll guide you to what you need to do. Then come up with suggestions. Let the Spirit guide you. What am I good at? Show me the way and how I'm going to approach this. Or what should be specific about the question. And if you don't get an answer, change the way you ask it. You'll be guided by divine spirit and where to direct your attention, your energy, and how to approach this. And you're grasping at the word. You'll be, for the individual, it'll be the perfect thing to do, whether or not it's whatever it is. Just go within. Your inner guidance is your divine. It'll guide you.
Your phone is breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone.
Okay, I don't know where that is. Let me take care of that for you. Try it now.
I have a quick question. Hello, Frank.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little bit off. Not on the same tack, but obviously with these perpetrators, everything has to be a big secret. And I'm just thinking, obviously if they make like 25% of the population a TI, then everybody's going to know about this program real quick. What percentage are they allowed to make people into TIs? I was just curious. It must be relatively low, but yet you hear if you piss off a policeman, they're ready to put you right on the list. So, I was just curious. Anybody know?
The amount of people, there's supposed to be a as of statistics. All right, hold on a second. We have a little audio difficulty here. I'm sure it's not intentional. Yeah, there we go. Not recent statistics, but we'll say right around 2006, 2007. I have 300,000 in this country. Now, part of them are made up by people that have been diagnosed with mental problems. Part of them are people who do not have computers. And the rest of the percentage lies in people who have computers and telephones. And then there's the lot that hasn't come forward yet. Now, that makes up the largest group, in my opinion. And I think once all is told, the number will be staggering.
The thing is, there are so many different levels of targeting, and like you said, there are so many people who are targeted in some aspects but have no awareness because it hasn't been made obvious to them. Obviously, all of us on the call, it's been made real obvious to us that we are targeted, and even within that group of people, there are different levels of targeting, but I think that the numbers are super high. It's just most people aren't aware, and some people are just targeted in some aspect, whatever. So maybe we need to reach out to the people who are targeted in some aspects but are not aware that they're targeted. Maybe we can reach out to them, and I'm sure that we've probably got well over 1 million people in the United States alone that are targeted.
I agree with you.
Much more than that.
It's a little scary, too, because you can walk into a non-denominational church and, basically what you're hearing is the voice of God weapon, and that's scary. And you see one testimony after another, very similar, of things that, God wouldn't ask man to do. That doesn't make sense.
Well, they will use your belief system against you, is what they do. If someone believes, if someone believes in a certain God or whatever, they will use that against them.
Right.
If someone does not belong to that religion, they're going to try to think the aliens are doing it. Whatever your system is, they use it against you. So that's what that is about.
They keep you stuck. They keep you stuck. It's like an acquiescence frequency. If you're fearful to move out of wherever you are, especially like in a spiritual sense. And Jesus didn't say this, and Allah didn't say that, and whatever the hell it is. And it's like you got to put some more tools in your toolbox. That's what you have to do. So you can't really say that to people that are devout in their faith. So.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, that's the people I keep interfacing with, or I keep meeting, where I realize that they are targeted, but trying to convince someone of that, and sometimes even just telling them about what a TI is enough to cite.
I mean, we're being moved out of our comfort zone, no matter who we are, even if you didn't have a faith. So it's basically survival of the fittest. You've got to listen and tune into your higher self, your real higher self. And what's the next thing? What's my next move here? Get rid of all the religion and jargon and everything. What's my next move? It's survival of the fittest. So.
Now, the guy who was just speaking, you said you were targeted from birth now?
From where?
Do you say you were targeted from birth?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Not
just
just me. My family, my extension.
He lives, Joe from Rhode Island, I mean, I live in the city, actually, in the state that I think he was first targeted in way back then.
Yep.
Right?
I grew up like a stone's throw where you are on the festival fields there.
Yeah, well, I didn't grow up in festival.
That was a jazz festival. We used to run through there. That was all the Newport Folk Festival and Jazz Festival. We sold lemonade to hippies going to and from where we lived, So.
Yeah.
May I ask you a question? The gentleman that was
Sure.
speaking. When did you become aware that you were a targeted individual?
Only about, I knew something wasn't right for a long, long time, my whole life, but to come to the place close to where I'm at now consciously about 4 years ago. So with all that
Okay,
time,
yeah, I'm in the same situation. I know that I was attacked. I have been targeted, and I say that in quotation marks, my whole life. They did not choose to display this to me and make it obvious until a few years ago. And I think that, I mean, it's probably not the case for everyone. Some people, you know, like I was saying, there's different categories, apparently, of targeting. And some people might just be retaliated against. But I can tell you this, from my own personal experience, they try to make me believe that it was just retaliation. I knew better than that, and I think that's true for many of us. I can't say how many, I don't know for sure, but for a lot of us, probably the same case where they're trying to, you know, you guys all know they're always trying to confuse us, and it's nothing but aims eyes.
It's way, yeah.
And I think that's so that I just wanted to finish what I was saying real quick. And I think that's so that we don't go after the people who are really doing this to us. They try to confuse us and make us think that sometimes it might be retaliation, but I think a lot of, maybe most of the time, for many of us, it's not that, but they're trying to make us believe that it is. So that, and a lot of it, I mean, those of us who are extremely targeted, in the lucrative category of targeting, where we're getting extreme targeting, a lot of money is spent on our targeting. You're probably, I know my situation, tagged at birth. So,
you hit the nail right on the head. You hit the nail right on the head.
I can't hear what you're saying.
You hit the nail right on the head.
Right.
The more they can keep you down, the more money they can make off your hardships or your life. So, especially, and they hated my mother. They hated us kids because we could see through the illusion. So we were the first ones to be slammed with, I was, with what they came out with in the 1980s. I mean slammed. Like almost the point of what happened to Linda MacDonald up in Canada. She had no memory of anything. They wiped her mind clean of who she was. And I'm not bullshitting. It can be done, and it was done to me in 80. All added memories and consciousness and no memory of who I was. For a long, long time, they had a hold of me like you can't fathom.
Jay, didn't you have to learn many things all over again at that point in time? Remember things?
Well, I had to repiece, like I was starting to get memories back that I hadn't, that were taken from me. And all my experiences, from 60 to 1980, and then also from 1980 to 2000, 2001, 2, 3, because I remembered, at that point, I remembered the perpetrators that raped me, suffocated me, all that bullshit. So I had a full plate of stuff to deal with the first 42, 43 years of my life. And I saw psychotronics in David Icke's writings, but I wasn't ready to cross that bridge because I was almost knocked out of balance from what I remembered. And it wasn't everything, but I remembered enough. And then in the last, thanks to Kate Mine, she's an agent of God, an angel, she came to the group, and I started to, she filled me in on things with emails and websites, and I was like, oh my God. And they were taught that when I retired in 2011, they were hammering me for 3.5 years. I came to a greater awareness of what my whole life was about. 50. It was like I'm 56 now. I'm going on 57. So it was like not even quite 2 years ago that I've had an enormous amount of spiritual freedom, an enormous amount of clarity in my whole cohesive memory of what occurred in my life. I don't have everything back, but I got enough to know what happened and who I really am. I really am. I'm a lot more than any of this. You just have to. If you had amnesia blocks, you don't have a cohesive memory of who your events and who you really are. So it's been one hell of a life, let me tell you. It's been one hell of a life.
May I ask, what's your name?
Jay.
Jay, Paul. Yeah, I was just wondering, Jay, when you first became truly aware of everything, like 4 years ago, did they really turn up the heat? Because I feel that I've been targeted for a really long time, possibly even from birth. And when I became aware about 9 months ago, that's when all the street theater and the gang stalking and the aircraft and all that stuff started. Do they do the same with you?
You're getting close to a breakthrough of how powerful you are as a soul. So when you become more of a threat of freedom for yourself and free of it, they are going to hammer the shit out of you. And so you either makes you or breaks you, and that's what it's about. When you start to really wake up to who you are as a spiritual being, they are going to hammer the shit out of you. But you've got God by your side at all times, and you got friends in high places, way above this bullshit, way above it. And don't forget it.
May I ask, Jay, do you believe this is ultimately like New World Order type shit, or you know what I mean, that type of stuff?
Yeah, it is. It's about the more time goes on, the darker and the more power the negative force has. Whether you call it Satan, whether you call it whatever you call it. So it's the most challenging time to manifest in this world, particularly people that have a potential of enormous growth, spiritually. I'm not talking about making money and all that bullshit. I'm talking about spiritually. So, it's like
Jay, where are you? Where are you from? Where do you live? Do you mind me asking?
I grew up on Aquidneck Island, Newport and Middletown. I live in Rehoboth, Mass. right now, which is like, I'm like 35, 40 minutes from where I grew up.
Do you believe that willing
participants? What was the question?
My name is Kim. I'm in Michigan. Can I give you my phone number real quick? I'd like to speak with you more about this some other time or whenever.
Okay. All right.
I'll just give you my number real quick. It's 707 350. Sorry, 707 350 1784.
1784. Kim and Michigan.
707-350-1784. It sounds like you're in the extreme category of, lucrative targeting. And I can tell you, I got scanned, or not scanned, I'm sorry, I didn't need to get scanned, but I saw Dr. Staniger. I want to see Melinda Kidder. I don't know why they charge so much money. I don't know, but she's a wealth of information. She is legitimate. And I can tell you the people, those of us who are extremely targeted in the lucrative category, the people that we need to go after are the university medical schools that work in collaboration with the military-industrial complex. They work together, hand in hand together.
You're right. I'm telling you, I know for me. They were probably involved in my whole life right to this very instant. The thing of it is, when you have that mindset, you have got to make sure that you have as much armor, and I mean energy armor, built around you. But what they can do is, as you well know, or people can tell you, unbelievable as far as piercing through that spiritual armor and that energy armor and making your life impossible or taking it. So it's not even, for me, it's not even worth, at this place in my life, I'm still trying to gather my thoughts, my strength. My battle is trying to heal me right now. I'm not ready to battle these bastards on a physical level. My battle is well, good luck. I'm not ready for it. I'm trying to, I'm beaten up by it. I'm okay, but I don't have the physical stamina that I had when I was 25 years ago, in the middle of being tortured the whole time in microwaves and everything, It's been a long, long life. And then I got a little peak of freedom and something that resembles a life for almost 2 years. And I'm not ready to pick up I'm not going to battle it on that level. I know the battle for me is it's a spiritual battle, and that's the only way that that's where I'm going to put my focus, is not battling people in their own battleground, you know. And I don't think there's anything that's going to change my mind unless I take a use pill and become like I was when I was in my teens and early 20s. Preparing my physical body for the battle of my life. If I hadn't done what I did then, I wouldn't have made it, you know? I wouldn't have made it.
Well, Jay, thank you very much. I would like to emphasize the fact that many, many years ago, before we had any kind of handle on electricity, people always thought there was an aura. And now scientifically, they have proven that fact. We do have an aura. And I've found the stronger you make yourself, in terms of appetite, vitamins, exercise, hydration, the better off you are and the stronger that aura is. And I believe that aura has been designed and given to you divinely to help protect yourself. Although this is a scientific attack, your aura is in fact scientific as well.
Guided by the Holy Spirit, mind you, and this technology they're trying to play God and mimic and all this stuff. So the stronger that you are, spiritually first, actually, and then that everything, you know, as above, so below. So the stronger you can get, in a sense, in a spiritual connection to the Creator, the stronger your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body. But there's a lot of garbage that I had to get rid of, like a peeling an onion, mentally and emotionally, that held me back. In other words, recognizing how I was my own worst enemy. So I got a lot of inner work to do, still cleaning house, to not become my best friend and not be my own worst enemy. So I'm still smoking, you know. That's a big thing. I eat okay, but it's not like it's different. I'm not. I can remember something when once her last child left the house. Think of it as if you were 17, 18 again. And I didn't really know what I was saying at the time, but I kind of, when she looked at me like, what the fuck? She was, beat up by life. But in a way, I could have even think of it.
Oh. Hi, we just got a new caller.
Hi, it's Bill from Boston.
Okay.
How you doing, guys?
Very good. Welcome to the call, Bill.
Thank you. Is this Frank?
This is Frank.
How you doing, Frank? I got your thing. I just got home. That's why I just called in right now. But what are you guys talking about?
Well, Jay was just talking about inner strength, and I brought up the aura, your own aura, and he was commenting on that. And we related the fact that although this stuff is electronic, so is your aura. And then she's carrying on.
I understand that. I mean, one of your main things is you got to build up your immune system.
I just also mentioned that. What's your name again? Is it?
My name's Bill from Boston.
Bill, okay.
Yeah. To fight this Morgellons crazy stuff. I don't know about you guys. I'm on a protocol. It's called Steve's protocol, which is really great. Fights it as much as possible. There's also a lot of vitamins you got to take: B6, B12, D vitamins. Vitamins seem to be the only way I can fight this. I don't know about you guys, but
what constitutes that protocol, by the way? This is Brittany. I'm just curious.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi, I've had really good success with Charlie's protocol. As far as the itching and stuff like that, it's all gone. But what's on Steve's protocol?
Fenben and rescue mushroom, Fenben, and it's slow, but it does seem to be fighting it. I'm not as nervous anymore. It's taking away a lot of stuff.
What does it consist of? As far as you called it, Steve's protocol?
Yeah, it's called Steve's protocol. If you go online and just text, go in and put Steve's protocol in. I'm on Facebook actually, and you can put Steve's protocol in, and it'll have. If you need it, just let me know, and I'll text it. I have a page which will show you exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'd love to look over it because I've successfully, at least using Charlie's, I've gotten rid of the itching, the rashes, and quite a bit of the voice to skull. But I'm always looking just in case.
Which is Charlie's protocol? The Epsom salt protocol? That one?
That's the Epsom salt and the potassium. What else does it have? The spirulina, the oregano. I couldn't say it. But the potassium iodide is a big part of it, and that really helped with the itching and scratching and the voice to skull. Because I was breaking out in rashes everywhere, and it was just ungodly trying to get sleep.
Yeah. Well, this fights your central nervous system. That's the main thing. And I don't know, for about 2 years, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know why I was nervous. I didn't know why I was staying in, not talking to anybody. It was pretty much horrible. And and since this other what it is, we have Lyme disease. That's what it is. You gotta. It's a form of Lyme disease, and that's
I'd like to say something real quick, if I may. Well, some of us may have Lyme disease. I can't speak for all of us, but some of us do not. With the look up the Charlie video, whatever, I watched all of his videos. I'd like to say it's very important to know what you have. If you have polymers on your body, and it could be anywhere on your body. I have it in my head. But if you have polymers, which looks and feels just like artificial skin of the same kind of thing he was describing, which he said it was caused by a fungus, but it's important to know what you have. If you use potassium iodide on polymers, it will make it grow much worse. So it's very important to know what you have. And I yield.
Exactly. Actually, this is a man-made thing to wipe out whoever, and in my case, I got something wiped on me. I remember the day. I remember exactly what happened. This guy walked up and wiped stuff on my hand. He was wearing gloves, and I looked, and I had all sorts of gooey stuff all over my hands. And from then, it's been hell,
Can you name the protocol again, please? I can just research it or find it.
There's Steve's protocol. There's also Charlie's protocol. There's a bunch of different protocols that you can combat it a little bit on. I don't know. It depends how you are and how you react to certain stuff,
On the response of
new TIs, I would definitely say start one of these protocols immediately, and then go from there.
You're going to hurt some of that. A big die-off of organisms over time, and you know that it's perfect. It's in your system, it's systemic, it's in your bones, your nervous system, everywhere. So,
yeah, it attaches the central nervous system. I woke up one day and I couldn't feel my feet, and I went to the hospital, and they said it was Guillette disease. They didn't know what it was, and they worked on it as Guillette disorder.
Right. Right.
And I found out after that it was the Morgellons,
Right.
But
you better have seen an alternative practitioner, someone that utilizes auto with ART, autonomic response testing.
I'd like to ask a question to the female that was, she had yielded. She was saying that potassium iodide causes growth with the polymers. If
Yes.
quite a bit of this is artificial, where can we find that information? Where would it be referenced? Because I'm interested in reading up on that. I know what Dr.
I did a bunch of research on the internet. I also saw Dr. Hildegard Staniger in California. I also did a whole bunch of research on that as well. So it's very important for us to know what we have, because all of us are targeted in different ways, and we all have different things going on. I mean, there are a lot of similarities, but when it comes to certain things, some things that might be good for one person could be very detrimental to another person. So it's very important to know what you have.
also, Frank.
I think most of us that got reports from her are going to show polymers anyway. I know my report showed polymers. So when you say if you have polymers, I mean, just from industrialization, we're going to have polymers in our system. So what level are we talking about where we would actually increase its growth?
Did you saw Dr. Staniger?
Yeah, I did the toxicology, the hair and the foot bill for my son and I through Dr. Staniger. So I'm just curious at what point would we be causing, because I'm on Charlie's protocol, and I've seen some great results, and you saying this is kind of scaring me right now, because I don't want to give up the good results.
Oh,
okay. Some aspects, I did watch all those videos, and some things are good in general, but there are some things that would be very bad if you have polymers. So I just wanted to make that point clear. If you have polymers, do not put potassium iodide on the polymers. It will make it grow much worse.
I know, but taking it internally.
Brittany, I'm sorry. Where are you from? Where are you from, Brittany? And how long have you been at TI?
Waco, Texas, and I kind of agree. I think was it Joe? He was saying that once you're aware of what's happening, you look back and you see that this could have been a part of your life for quite a substantial time period.
Exactly, until you die, it could have been, and just fighting it alone is hard, I was just curious, how many people are on this line, Frank?
We are almost over the limit. I have to buy more shares.
Which is
what is
the limit?
What is the limit?
I'm at 51.
Wow.
51. Wow.
They might sometimes they're good to you in the beginning, and they'll let some calls slide. We're doing very well.
May I say something to the last person who was speaking real quick? What's your name, Brittany? The person who was speaking about the polymers?
Yeah. Yes. It's Brittany.
Did you get my phone number? We can talk offline sometime about the polymers. I can give you all the
That would be fantastic.
get rid of it. Did you get my phone
If
number?
nothing else, let me get a pen real quick. If nothing else, I can at least continue on the protocol and we can retest to see if my polymers increased or not. That way we can have some type of balance. Here,
Okay.
what's the telephone number?
I don't want to take up the whole call with this because I know most people don't have this, but I would love to relay any information I have to you that could help you, possibly help you. Feel free to call me. Let me know if you have a pen and paper. I'll give you my phone number.
I have one now.
Who's the girl that's speaking right now? Not Brittany,
Kim.
but the other girl?
Kim.
Oh, Kim.
Me?
I've spoken to you, yeah? Hi, Kim.
Yes, this is Kim and hi. I don't want to take up too much of the call talking about polymers because I know it's kind of a rare thing to deal with, but it's the lady who was speaking, Brittany. Do you want to write down my phone number real quick and we can talk sometime offline, and I can
That sounds fantastic.
I can give you all the information, everything that's helped me to get rid of this. I can give that information to you. My phone number is 707-350-1784.
Okay, and let me go over that one more time. 707-350-1734?
1784.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow, okay?
Anytime. Yeah, anytime you can call me and I'll give you all this. Anything that's helped me, I'll let you know help me, so maybe it will help.
That sounds awesome, and I'll send over a copy of the reports I have too. That might help, and maybe redoing the report since I've been on Charlie's protocol for a few months now. Might help.
Brittany, would you mind giving us a little more result from this protocol so that we all can benefit from it?
Well, honestly, with what she just said, it might be a good idea for me to retest and see if my polymers had increased or not, because I did have polymers in my test with Stenninger. But I'm still seeing great results.
What is Charlie's protocol like? What's in it?
It's you do the Epsom salt bath. You put about I get a 5 pound. Well, it's actually an 8 pound bag, so I use about half the bag. Every night, at least every night for the first 3 to 4 weeks. You try to do it for 4 months. You do potassium iodide. You do three dropables 3 times a day. I do 1 dropperful 3 times a day. I do oil of oregano, your vitamin C, boron. Boron's extremely important. And spirulina. Of course, your normal vitamins, like everybody said, you know, that's going to be awesome for your immune system as well.
Okay, yeah.
May I ask
and borax.
Where do you have polymers? Is it fused to your head or is it on the rest of your body?
Oh, I thought you were saying the test came back with polymers. I'm not sure. I think I'm misunderstanding it because my test results came back with polymer composites. And that's what I thought you were referring to when you said polymer, P-O-L-Y-M-E-R.
Yes, that's
and I
correct.
did notice, like, when I was using the Palmolive soap with the acid in it, the antibacterial, the orange one, with the Epsom salt, and I've got the sulfur lime. I haven't done that yet, but I started seeing peeling. Lots of peeling. Things that look like age spots came off. It was gold triangles, like translucent gold triangles came off in a number of spots. I had crystals, what looked like almost glass crystals, deep red and clear, come out of my chest and my throat. And some of my... So, I mean, it started peeling. It started my skin peeling. And it's just, I haven't had the Voice 2K. It reduced significantly. Before, I couldn't go outside and have a conversation. It was very hard for me to focus on what other people were saying because I just couldn't. The voices were too loud. Now I don't hear them, or I hear very little of them when I do.
And what was that? That was 4 pounds of Epsom salt?
Yeah, he says use 4 to 5 cups, but if you can afford it, use the whole bag. And I took him at his word on that. When I can afford it, I use as much of it as I can.
No, Brittany is.
Yeah,
there.
right.
I just want to tell everyone, Epsom salts are, under normal circumstances, very healthy, and they can pull some toxic stuff out of our body. So it is a good thing to do, but make sure you rinse all of it off of your body because it is electroconductive. So after you soak in the bath, I highly recommend you just rinse it all off. Make sure you
Frank and I also brought that up on a previous conference call because it is used to create that circuitry to solidify it. One of the things you want to do is, leave it on there for about an hour, but then go back through and rinse it all off. You don't want to necessarily sleep with it. I've noticed also that it almost seems like it's scattered, because I used to get real sharp burning sensations on my skin, and it was just focused. Even when I moved, it was still there. I don't get that anymore. It's almost like it's broken up. I don't get the heart squeezes like I used to, or it almost felt like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just sensations of pain on the arms and the heart and the heart.
Did you get any Hertz die-off from that?
Did I get any what?
Hertz die-off? H-E-R-X die-off?
H-E-R-X?
H-E as in Ellen.
Herxheimer effect.
H as in Puma?
I
You know
can't.
the Herxheimer effect? Yeah, sometimes you can feel worse before you feel better. I think it's a Herxheimer effect.
Oh, you hurt. Oh, I know what you're talking about, the detox from detoxing. Yes, I did. I very much did. I got flu-like symptoms after about the second week. I got sick, and so did Charlie. He got sick as well. I got it, like it said, it felt like the flu.
It's called a Herxheimer effect. That's the last name of a doctor.
It's from detoxing, and I think some of that was candida die-off. In my case, I think because my son and I had both been diagnosed with one fungus after another, but they go in and they do the testing, and they never had an answer for us on what was actually affecting us. They were just throwing pesticides and stuff at us, and here, this will fix it, and it never did. So this seems to, and I noticed right after we were seeing that, and I started taking, there was a candida support product also I took from GNC. I hit that Herx effect, and it was tough. I mean, I slept a lot, but it's past now. I don't have my nose isn't running anymore. I have earwax. I don't have those pains like I was. It was worth it.
Hi, I'd like to
welcome. I just want to say I have super high levels of candida also, and there are a bunch of things you can do. Something that has been very beneficial to me is taking super high levels of probiotics. Do you take probiotics?
Yes, I do. I did. I
kind of probiotics?
Hi.
What kind of probiotics?
I'd like to welcome Derrick Robinson to the call.
Derrick,
would like to take the floor.
Hey, Derrick.
Oh, hi. Good evening, everybody. This is Derrick. A lot of outside noise at the moment. I'll talk for a little bit. I just got on the call, so I'm not sure of the gist of the conversation. What I can tell you guys is that this is a time where we're making lots of progress. And we can hope for the best. There's just a lot of opportunities that are cropping up that haven't been available to us before. And I think that within a few months, we'll probably see some major changes. Particularly if this class action lawsuit materializes. We're hoping to get some good results from the investigator, although we have had some negative comments about him. I do hope to have a conversation with him, and hopefully we can get some things cleared up. And I hope you guys can hear me. It's a lot of background noise.
I can hear you.
Derrick, how do we get involved with this class action lawsuit?
How do you get what?
How do I join this class action lawsuit?
Okay, well, stay with the calls so you can find out what's going on. Subscribe to the newsletter so you can find out what activities are happening. You can join my call, and Frank can give you the information for that, or it's posted in the newsletter. I would say stay connected to the community. Frank is excellent at networking people, and great in terms of, I mean, it's very, very rare in our community that someone brings people together.
Yes, it is, yes.
So Frank is doing a marvelous job at that. So I would say stay with him. I'm in touch with him regularly. And I think that, you know, there's some awesome things on the horizon. Well, later this month, early next month, there's some doctors coming from Bangladesh that have some equipment that might, according to the sky, is able to detect microchips and deactivate them. And if that materializes,
Thank God.
That would be major in terms of our community.
Yes.
Yes, it would. Thank
So, you know, that would eliminate a lot of effects, you know, that people are experiencing. B2K, for instance, a lot of pain areas that are being caused by implants. So it could affect lots of things if that was really the case. So there's just a lot of possibilities that are coming, and you know, things that we're not even aware of as yet. So, you know, as long as we can stay together as a community and continue to work together, we can make tremendous strides. We're also embarking on this public outreach campaign that could yield some very interesting results. And if everybody participated in some way, I think it could spur our progress. The T-shirt campaign is a part of that. Just making the public aware that there is a victimized population. Something, a cause that people need to be aware of. And hopefully at the end of it, this cause will be recognized as much as human trafficking. That's a very popular and well-known cause that people are concerned about. And hopefully organized stalking and electronic harassment will be the next cause that people become aware of and become concerned about. So all of these things are on the horizon, and at the same time, there's intensive suffering that I'm getting word about. Both these things happen at the same time, and it's because we are making these types of strides. So the event in Washington, D.C., I'm wishing Frank well with that. It is also a public outreach campaign. I'm working on some flyers, some pamphlets that you guys are welcome to hand out there at the event to the public that are walking by. You know, whenever you guys do something like this, try to make the most of it in terms of public education. When we did this in Washington, D.C., someone had a table set up with tons of informational material, pamphlets and so forth, of all types and varieties. So you might want to be sure to do that.
Derrick, are you on Facebook at all? I'm sorry. Are you on Facebook at all?
I'm on Facebook, and so is PAX. So if you have questions, feel free to message me at any of the locations.
Awesome. All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry for
okay. Just a lot of noise. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, Frank.
Okay. Thank you very much, Derrick.
Share. Okay. You're welcome.
I'm sorry, Frank. I didn't make him sign off, right?
Oh, no. He was having some difficulty.
Yeah.
He's
I'm getting a lot of interference on this end too. That's I know what hurts is I couldn't understand it because it's like I'm hearing people talk over and there's no one talking over. It's interesting. It's just if no signal keeps dropping.
Funny, clear as a bell here. Clear as a bell.
Has anybody else worked with the Hercs? The Hercs actually put me in the hospital for 2 months, and my legs, my feet are still numb from it, and I'm just working on different stuff, trying to get walking again and stuff, you know. Is anything helped for anybody else?
I was detoxing. The Herc I had it myself. It had me go right down for 2 weeks, sleeping 22 hours a day. I had some salt bath, and I had some salt and some baking soda. And just for 1 hour.
Yeah.
1 hour.
So right now, my feet are in a bath right now. Epsom salt and baking soda bath. So.
1 hour and then rinse it off as you're in the shower. And the same thing with your feet. I have the same problem with my feet. My toes are turning black and purple and whatnot. No sensation. That'll pass, but it's like a buildup of toxins. Earthing. Feet on the ground or in salt water, that helps too. Bare feet on swimming soft soil.
Baking soda, I got my mouth.
And put the feet on the ground. Go outside to feet barefoot on damp grass or in the ocean. That's earthing, right? Even if you can't do it for like 5 minutes, like this time of year, or 10 minutes, barefoot, at grass.
Yes, I just want to second that. Grounding works very well.
Yeah, earthing.
Very good.
Makes a big difference.
I actually tried it. I didn't have an earthing mat, and I made one with aluminum foil, and it actually hurt my feet more. I don't know, maybe it was the aluminum or whatever, but like, so I'm just waiting for a grounding mat, you know.
Is there any grass where you are? Like wet, damp grass like it is right now?
Yeah.
That works too. I mean, other than, it might look a little funny if this, the neighbors are looking, but, just go out for 5 to 10 minutes as long as you can and walk around on the wet grass, damp grass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've been checking that earthing out, and that's really big, you know?
Earthing, earthing I've found is wonderful. God did not mean for us to live in tall buildings.
Yeah.
Naturally, he meant us to live on the ground. So what grounding will do is make you healthy. It is a great thing. It does not stop V2K. It will strengthen you against photography, but it is not going to stop it. Okay? And that's personal information. If somebody has stopped everything with grounding, I support that. But I've done everything but strap myself to a post, a copper post driven into the ground. But I have tried it, and I think it's a healthy, therapeutic process that helps us against the battle. And
everything comes about vibration. You've got to get our vibrations where they belong, because they're going to out of whack. So nutritionally, with supplements, your diet, your life, everything about your lifestyle, you've got to bump up every aspect of being healthy. So whether it's getting salt water when it's warm enough, bare feet on the ground, eat as clean as you can, your supplements, with good supplements, what you need. Essential fatty acids are very important. The brain, all your cells in your body have essential fatty acids as cell membranes. So they're fluid with all the cell membranes. You need good fats in your diet, like evening primrose oil. For your brain, your cardiovascular system, everything. Every cell in your body, that's good fats. If you have good fats in your diet as a cell membrane. So you've got to supplement with that. B vitamins are very important for your nervous system. And 30 years before I even knew I was being targeted. I looked at the protocol of nutrition, and I was doing it 30 years ago, but I didn't know I was being targeted. But I was treating myself and my symptoms with nutritional supplements, and they're vibrational. Not only it's nutrition, but it's vibrational. Everything has, just like Ayurvedic medicine, essential oils and whatnot. It's gonna bring life to the body, and that means the thoughts, your emotions, everything. It's an all around. You've got to accomplish. It's an all around. You've got to do everything, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally.
Excuse me, Jay. I'd just like to interrupt for a second and go off topic a little bit. Since I have a group of callers are peaking, we'll say, I'd like to give my own personal cell number out, which is 508-57-8334, and my personal email, which is Frank, R-A-N-K.
Frank, there's lots of noise. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Could you say that again?
Okay, do you want the phone number again?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 508-857-8334. Now, the email address is Frank, F-R-A-N-K, dot, the Archer, one word, T-H-E-A-R-C-H-E-R, at gmail.com. And if you'd like, you can send me a test email. I'm sure there are many of you that already have it. What I'm trying to do is send out RSVPs for Washington. Now, I'd like to get back to Jay because Jay was right in the middle of a very interesting topic. Go ahead, Jay.
No, it's just about supporting every aspect of it. Mental, emotional, and physical. So everything we put in our bodies, air, cigarette smoke, vitamins, food, it has a vibration to it, and it's either a good vibration for our particular body and circumstance or not. So the more that you can support your own health, it's going to, nutrition. It's going to either support you or bring you down. But it always starts from a spiritual level. So that will guide you to what you need to do, whether you realize that, hey, I think I got Lyme. And then you start a protocol with an alternative practitioner, and she gives you, not potassium iodine, but real full-strength iodine for your thyroid because it's suppressed. Then tinctures. These are tinctures that are designed especially for getting it from the body. And also the oregano oil, red thyme oil, whatnot. And then when you see results in your body, it's killing off the organisms that have been in the body for a long time. Now, whether it's just Lyme or not, when you get a herpes, you're covered with rashes, and the doctor walks into the room, and they draw back because it looks like you've got leprosy. You know that. So, but then you feel better.
You keep breaking up. I'm sorry.
One that I got earlier with the Epsom salt bath. It's true. And then you're going to have some Himalayan pink salt and maybe some baking soda. You'll feel better. Drawing this crap off you.
Jay,
and out of you.
Jay, you're breaking up, Jay. I don't know whether you're on Wi-Fi or whether you're on the cellular network. You're fading out halfway through your sentence.
I don't know
what you're saying. That's Himalayan salt and what?
Yeah, the Himalayan pink salt, and then the Epsom salt, which is magnesium. You start to detoxify from all that crap, whether it's Lyme, whether it's polymers, whether it's Morgellon. Sometimes you'll feel, but you'll feel better at the end of it, of this whole detox protocol, especially with your bowels too. It's do your bowels with the candy, called candy back.
Magnesium is a fantastic supplement.
Get rid of the candida in you.
It's kind of hard to hear. It's kind of hard to hear you, Jay. But everything I've heard you say is correct, because I mean, there's all kinds of things we can do to try to protect ourselves with shielding and stuff. I haven't been able to try a lot of that stuff, but I feel like our best protection is to protect our bodies and our minds, and you can't separate the two. And I feel like that is, the strongest protection that we have. So I agree with
How do you do that?
It's an all-around focus on. It starts.
It's really hard to hear you.
You'll get the guy.
Yeah, Jay, your phone's breaking up. You can only hear like one letter out of what you're saying. I'm sorry. That girl that just was speaking. What's her name?
Kim.
My name is Kim from Michigan.
Oh, Kim. Okay, I know you are. What do you do for like fielding and stuff like that? What's your own personal thing?
To be honest, I have not had the money to try many things. A few things I have tried that have been somewhat effective, not completely effective, but I put mirrors in my windows with the mirrors facing outward. I use bags of water. And it's important to note that you want to use distilled water, because if you use regular tap water, it is electroconductive. Water that has minerals and or salt, any kind of salt in it, is going to have the opposite effect. So you want to use distilled water, and you can put it in you can get like bags of water or fill up your own bag of water with distilled water. That's something I've tried. I've also used something I got that is really inexpensive, and it's minimally effective, but and the only thing that it's really been effective for is sort of buffering. I would say buffering the frequencies. Is I found like Mylar shower caps at the beauty supply store. They look like shower caps, and you have to like double them up, or use 2 or 3. And then I don't suggest to put it directly on your head. You want to put a hat in between, and then put the Mylar shower cap on top of it, and pull the hat and the Mylar shower cap over your auditory cortex, over your ears, and over your brainstem, and that kind of buffers the frequencies that they use to keep us awake at night. It kind of buffers it a little bit. I haven't used a whole lot of things, and I haven't found anything that's very effective, to be honest. Like I was saying before, I feel like the best thing, I was going to say, I know people who have tried all kinds of things and have spent a lot of money on things, and they might work for a little bit, and then the perpetrators find a way to get around it. Maybe using a lot of technology or whatever. So I feel like the best protection we have is to strengthen our minds and strengthen our bodies. I really feel like that is the best protection we have.
Yes, I agree, 100%. See, like right now, I'm basically fighting the herpes. And it's all gone. Right now. I'm on a metal detox. To detox all the metals out of your body. That's what it is basically. It all dies off and becomes like you become like an antenna. And
right. That's a very.
Is that part of the Steve's protocol?
Right.
Is that part of Steve's protocol? The metal detox.
It really hasn't gone like through that. Like the Steve's protocol is basically the Morgellons. They're killing the Morgellons. If you talk to Steve or somebody, and he'll let you know how to get through the herpes. But it's basically Epsom salt and baking soda baths, and that's what
I'm seeing a common theme. I noticed a common theme through the Magellan site, and even some of the metal detox. I've noticed a common theme with the Epsom salts, the borax, the boron, and the palm olive. I've seen that across the board. Now I'm seeing it pop up in the PI community too.
Uh-huh. What is the did you say palm olive too?
The palm olive antibacteria, the one with the I forgot the name of the acid. It's L-static. Can someone help me out here?
That helps with herpes?
No, not with the herpes. It helps peel off the top layers of skin. That's not really skin.
The bats, yeah.
Lactic acid?
That's it. Thank you so much.
Hi,
I had an old moment.
Frank, are you there?
Yes, Ella would like to say a few words, or as many as
Frank,
wants, actually.
and listen, I sent you a couple of emails. That's all I got to say.
Okay, thank you so
I
much.
Yeah. It's about, did you ever hear the left forums?
I believe I have.
Well, they're doing a forum June, and you could buy a table very cheap. And I thought that, and they're having Jeremy Scahill do the speaker,
Right.
and I thought that would be a good place for us to go and hand out stuff. What do you think?
Well, it sounds very good. The email that you sent me is to that effect?
Yeah, it's a write-up on the left forum and what it's all about and what they do and who's going to be the speakers and how much and everything. So I thought maybe you'd like to look at it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Frank, have y'all started a GoFundMe for Washington? That way you can sponsor for the pamphlets?
Yes. I will make available the GoFundMe information. It's too bad all of you don't have computers. I don't think I can pull that up right now. I probably can. But if you go to Targeted Massachusetts, the GoFundMe is right there. You can see it. And I will make all this information available for you.
You know what else I was wondering? Is there anything that we could give to our family and friends? I mean, my family thinks I'm nuts, because for years before this, I didn't know what was going on, and I'm like, this one's after me, and no, it's this one, and I don't know what the hell's going on, and, it just, everything was nuts, now that I know.
I went through the same thing, and I'm still going through it, and now they're starting to understand it, and they're scared of it, so I'll go from there. I'd like Ella. Ella free to take over.
Is there any, do you have anything that you can hand out to our family and friends? Because their object is to get all of our family and friends against us and all this and that. And if we could have something to give them and say, listen, like this, I'm not saying, this is going to happen to you, but this is what's going on. Just something to hand out to the normal people and,
I will, if you send me email to that effect, I will send you a site where you can get that information. I will make that available.
Yeah, Derrick mentioned pamphlets. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily for friends or family, but...
The person that just sent me a while ago.
Okay, excuse me. Ella would like to take over. She has some things to add, and I'm sure it'll be very interesting. Hold on briefly. Ella, you still there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
You can hear you, Ella.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. Well, basically, you had mentioned, to speak a little bit. So there are a couple of points I'd like to make. Number one, I hope everyone's involved with Catherine Horton's Tsunami letter writing campaign, and it's become a lot easier to participate in it. So if you log on to Stop 007, get to the page, and it's actually very simple once you start doing it to send in your letters, and you basically can take a look that you have, and you can basically copy and paste all the sections of email addresses. So it makes it really easy. So that's something I hope people are participating in, as well as Tomo is devising a bill that she's going to present to California in hopes of passing. So tomorrow, Toma's going to be on my activism call, which is at 4 p.m., 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Most of you are on the East Coast. If you guys want to give your 2 cents about the bill, I've also sent out a copy of the bill to at least a couple hundred people. So if you're interested in that, you guys are welcome to come on to the podcast. And the other point, number 3, is that me and Dr. Matthew Aaron are starting a umbrella organization for all the different leaders or websites or popular websites or any groups of people that are doing activism. Can communicate effectively and come together and maybe find some strength in numbers, because there's people that are doing things in Poland and they have information maybe we don't have, because we've become isolated, not just with ourselves and our own lives, even as a city or our little talk shoe forums, which aren't that little actually. So it's nice to take in and be able to reciprocate information. Most people I talk to in other parts of the world, it seems like we have a lot of information in our community. So, that information out there. And then I'm also on with another person trying to have a podcast for Europeans and for the people that are on a different time zone, European, Australia, London, and that would be like a different call. I just need to get support on that because I'm stretched a little thin. And then, of course, I'm really excited about his protest, and I think that's going to be very exciting, and I look forward to getting more details, and I have a lot of people that are interested in coming. So we just, have to, just have to work at some of the logistics, and so when you're ready and you have more information, I'll pass it along, Frank, and thank you for bringing everybody together and getting this protest going. I remember we talked about it, months ago, so I'm happy to see that it's in fruition.
Ella?
Yes?
This is Delise. Could you repeat the phone number for tomorrow's call, please?
Sure. It is the talk-show number, which is 724. There's a little background noise. 444 7444. So again, I'll repeat it, 724-444-7444, and the ID number is 141476#, and then of course you'll enter the PIN, which is £1, and that's 7 o'clock East Coast time.
7 o'clock, you said Eastern time?
Yeah, Eastern time, and it's not just about only Tomo's bill or what I'm saying. I love to hear everyone's ideas. Any ideas you might have, anything you want to contribute to make an idea better, or just to come and listen.
Are you 1 hour ahead of Eastern Standard Time? I mean behind?
I'm 3 hours behind. Yeah, 3 hours behind.
Pacific.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, not a problem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ella.
Thank you very much, Ella.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Ella.
Okay, I guess the next thing I would like to cover about Washington is for our new callers, and again we are bouncing off 51, and there are people that aren't able to get on, which won't happen next week. There's going to be a stationary location where people can speak, and Karen Stewart is one of the speakers. Ella Free is one of the speakers, and there will be many more, and I will be speaking myself, and we are going to get a message across to these people. And I'm going to call on Derrick, his experience in Washington, and he has a T-shirt program, and this is all coming together, all at once. I can see all the pieces falling into place. So we have a GoFundMe project, a GoFundMe page. That's also available at Target Massachusetts. Someone just brought that up a moment ago. And I will make that available. And we are going to have some fun. And I really can't wait to get there. and we'll have a blast, and we're going to get our message across. So, any questions?
How many people are going, Frank?
This I will let you know within the next couple of days, but it's going to be at least 50 plus. This is just from what I know and what I've got written down now. So we're working on transportation. We're going to put states together and people within that state that can get together and carpool. I think that buses are a major source that should be researched by everyone. We have been researching buses. And any more questions?
Do you have an itinerary?
That you will be presented with as well. As I started, there'll be a speaking location, and there'll also be a protest location in front of the White House. So there'll be alternate locations. And this way, we can actually pass out the flyers and keep moving in front of the White House. And we can also have people filming. And at the same time, or not at the same time, afterwards, we will have our speaking engagement, which I've already outlined to some degree. And there'll also be a map and times that everything will start. We will meet approximately at 9. I'm sure there will be people that will get there ahead of 9. But that is the hour, and we will come up with the exact location that we will meet in.
Frank, I'm just curious. Do you have like meetings, any like targeted Massachusetts meetings, like in-person meetings, like an AA meeting or something? You know,
No.
like something like that, like, you know.
Kate Ryan has been heading up what used to be the FFCHS Massachusetts chapter, and she has been having meetings for years. Somebody's doing dishes in the background, I guess.
I know. You can have them.
Hold on one second. And she has been doing a lot of work for years. She's been taking groups to Boston to pass out flyers. She's seen congressmen. She's done so much for the movement. And I am so hoping that she is going to be able to come with us and speak.
That's awesome.
She will not have to worry about transportation because she can have my front seat. And I again have 3 more spots in my car. And those will be filled. And we'll go from there. But it's all coming together, and I'm very, very, very encouraged and very happy at what I'm seeing.
That's awesome. And there's a way like you can even give like $5 or $10 or something like that, you know, like.
Sure.
Because obviously we're all broke, you know.
Oh yeah, we all are. And if you go to this GoFundMe page, I'm going to have to pull it up here, and I will definitely make that available. But make sure that you all send me a test email, if nothing else, if you're brand new. I'll give out the address again and my phone number. You can text me. The phone number is 508-857-8334. The email address is Frank, F-R-A-N-K, dot thearcher, one word, @gmail.com. If you have any questions, and I will make that information available by email to whomever's email that I have. And I want to see this particular program holds the screen and everything. It's forward, so I really can't get behind it. to get the information.
Yes.
But I will give it a try.
May I make a brief announcement real quick, Frank?
Sure.
Yes.
I just wanted to say, if any TIs who would like to get in touch with other TIs in their area for support and hopefully for activism, I hope people will use it for activism, but at least for support, if not activism, you can call me. My name is Kim, and my phone number is 707-350-1784, and I'll repeat it. My name is Kim, and my phone number is 707-350-1784. And if you do call me, please leave a voice message with your name so I know it's not a pre-call, because I get a lot of fake calls on my phone, especially lately. So just leave me a voicemail or a text message, and I will return your call right away. Can you repeat that? Sorry? Can you repeat the number? 707-350-1784. And my name is Kim.
Perfect.
So
Thank
if you'd
you.
like to get in touch, yes. For anyone who would like to get in touch with other TIs in their area for support or activism, you can call me, and I have a pretty big contact list already. Just please leave a message, either text or voice message, what it's pertaining to, or just your name, and I will call you right back and put you in touch with other TIs. There are way too many of us for any of us to have to be isolated anymore. That should not be going on. I know that's what they try to do, and I'm hoping people will use this for activism. I'm hoping people will use it for activism, but for whatever. Yes, any TIs can call me, and I will put them in contact with other TIs in their area. I put a lot of TIs in contact with other TIs already since I did this a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago. So I'm getting a pretty big list, so feel free to call me anytime. Thank you.
Gary, where are you located?
I'm in Michigan.
Oh, okay. Well, your prefix on your number got my attention because it's the same as mine in Northern California.
Oh, is this EMF, Linda?
Yeah.
Hi. Yes, we've spoken many times before. I don't know if you remember me. I was in California for 19 years, and then I went up to Oregon. I came back. I'm staying at my parents' house back in my hometown in Michigan now. You probably remember me now. We spoke before. We've spoken on the phone before. My name is Kim. Kim,
of course, Kim. I remember you. You're a musician and a very articulate, intelligent activist.
Oh, thank you.
Kim, I spoke to you too. I spoke to you with Phil from Boston. I spoke to you too.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Kim. Since we're just talking about phones, I just want to just say something to new TIs. Electronic harassment isn't just the D's that DEW do's. It's also like phone harassment. You know, like once you start falling asleep, your phone will start blinking. It'll start going off. If people call you, just as you start to doze off, because we all want sleep. You know, like we're all exhausted. The best thing to do is turn your phone off, and then pick it up when you wake up. You know, turn it off, and because they get a hold of your number, and that's it. They know when you're about to sleep, and I mean, for the longest time, I'd just be falling asleep, and then bing, 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 a game on my phone would start blowing up, or somebody would call me, like because your calls are directed and stuff like that. So I just wanted to let new TIs know that shut your phone off, when you plan to go to sleep, and then, completely off. And, I mean, me personally, I don't even sleep with it in my room, but, that's,
That's good information. Yes, they always call it very interesting time.
Exactly,
Quantum computers is crazy.
Right?
That's
Yeah,
It's an AI. There's an artificial intelligence that's monitoring it all, and so even put it in a pot with a lid on it, or put it somewhere with a steel around it so it doesn't emit anything.
Exactly. Yes. You know.
Put it in the oven every night. Put it right in the oven.
Yeah.
Anyway, is the caller still on that asked about the Herxheimer effect? Because Berber, B-U-R, okay, B-U-R, detox. It's Nutramedics is the brand. Herbal supplement. B-U-R, Berber, detox. Herbal supplement.
B-U-R.
Yeah, Berber, detox. Nutramedics. I got it on from Amazon when I had, I was Herxing last year with the Lyme because I did too much of the tinctures. And I didn't even get a chance to use it, but that's what I bought. I had it. By the time I got it, I was over the Herxheimer effect. So I got it, keep it wrapped in foil, to keep electromagnetic away from it, keep it away from power lines, like wiring behind the wall, keep it safe. And that'll help with your, if you get a Herxheimer effect detoxing.
Yeah, I got bad Herx. I was in the hospital for a couple months, and then when I came home in a wheelchair because of it, and then you know, my immune system started kicking in, and I moved up to a walker, and now I'm on a cane, but I still, you know, my feet are still numb, you know, but I mean, I found a couple new detoxes like about a couple months ago, and I'm just working on them now, as a matter of fact, as we speak. But thank you for any kind of Herx or, you know, information that you have, you know, because it really bites, you know.
Yeah, well, it was more, now that I can say it, yes, I wonder if I should even open the bottle up and take it, because my feet still aren't right, but I think I got more going on with my toes and my nerve now on my foot, the plantar fasciitis and whatnot.
Is that from the Epsom salt and baking soda bath, or is that from the Verber?
I don't know. I never did the Verber. I told you about the Epsom salt and all that, but I never did take the Verber because, I mean, the rashes went away. I got my energy back from the Lyme because I was Herxing from the tinctures I was taking for the Lyme. But I ended up on doxycycline for 2 weeks. You know, and that finally cleared me up as far as I know, but I never finished with the protocol because I had an appointment with someone up in New Hampshire, and then I got word I had to move, and I was like, I can't start a protocol, and I canceled that appointment, so I never really followed up on the whole line.
Which protocol did you use to help you out?
So I started, and then my practitioner and I shared a little bit too much with them about my situation, and I think she did a little research, and she brought me as a client. So I was like on my own, treating myself with the tinctures and everything. I left the office for $550, and I started to increase the tinctures and everything, and that's when I had the Herc. And that's, you know, after about a month, I ended up with a regular doctor, and sure enough, there was Lyme, and I tested Lyme in my, you know, Herc in my bloodstream with the Western blot and the ELISA. So I went on doxycycline for 3 weeks, and then that was the end of it. I never really picked up. I picked up back on my tinctures, but I used them all up, and I never picked up another practitioner to continue my treatment. So it's been
I was in the hospital for 3 months, right? And these doctors treated me for Lyme disease, but didn't tell me. You know, like how would they know that about the oxygen? You know, needing oxygen and all this crazy stuff, right? Like they had me on all this stuff. I mean, they took every test you can completely imagine, and then they finally came up with Guillette beret, which, you know, like it wasn't. If you know, my symptoms compared to the Guillain-Barré symptoms, they're absolutely opposite. You know what I mean? And, you know, I realized that it was the Lyme, and then I started treating myself with Lyme and vitamins and stuff like that, and then I started getting better. You know, like, so they kept me in there for 2 months, basically just shocking me and zapping me and doing every test you can think of on me, but didn't finally. I had to come home and do the stuff myself to even be able to get out of bed,
Yep.
It's just,
Hey, guys.
it's horrible.
This is Frank. Can I interrupt you just for 1 second? I've got that information for you. It's GoFundMe.com/targeted-individuals-go-Washington-DC.
And that's on Targeted Massachusetts too, right?
It certainly is, yeah.
Okay, good.
And if you get a hold of it, share everywhere.
Sure, definitely.
Go ahead, folks. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm sorry. Frank, could you really quickly speak about the audio spotlight?
Okay, I wish Mike was here. What the audio spotlight is, it emulates heterodyning. Now, heterodyning is a process by which two audio signals in the form of two beams, almost traveling at the speed of light, are out of phase. One signal is unlike the other. The difference between the two signals is the V2K, or the speech in this case with audio spotlight. Now what Mike can do is stand on a tall building and aim for you and put that whatever he's saying on your shoulder, in your ear, or in your head. So it is a very, very effective demonstration.
Can the audio spotlight actually put voices inside someone's head?
Yeah, I've learned that since our last call, and that is a fact. It emulates bone conduction, the whole 9 yards. And
I wasn't aware of that. I did not know it can actually put voices inside someone's head. Wow.
Yeah, it is the commercial version of perpism, I will say. But it is going to be used in the newest TVs that come out. It's going to be a split screen. One side of the screen, one person will watch, and the audio spotlight technology will split the sound and put the sound on that side of the room. The other individual can watch a different program and have his own sound right next to his ear.
That's messed up.
Does that use microwave technology like V2K does?
Yes, it does.
Oh, so you actually, so it actually uses microwave. I wasn't aware of that either.
Do you have that GoFundMe page on your website, on your
Yes, it is.
Facebook page? Okay, thanks.
That's at Targeted Massachusetts. There is a group which is closed, and there is a page which is public. The GoFundMe appears in both places, on both sites. And I've asked a number of people, Ella, I've asked Kate, and we're all cooperating, moving this around so people can see it. And we all work together. That's what this is all about. It's not me making this possible, it's you. You're the ones who are doing it. I'm just helping. But any questions?
I don't know if anybody else's phone is burning off their ear, but mine's cooking. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just... Very shortly, we're going to switch over to Linda's call, and I feel very bad because she does not apparently have a cell phone, and I was
She does now.
She does now?
She does now.
Okay.
Yeah,
good, good.
she got Vonage for $4.
Okay.
It's a phone she hooked for $4 a month. You can get a Vonage phone. They send you this little attachment, and you plug it into your computer. So it's not through the phone lines. It's not, but you plug it into your modem on your computer, and it's $4 a month.
All right, that sounds
You
great.
know, actually, also, I was just driving by, and they had these stands set up. It was on Mass Ave, and they're giving away free phones. All you need to be is a Mass Health member or anything to do, with Massachusetts, whether it be EBT or anything. Just if you have a Massachusetts card, you can give them the card, and they give you a free phone, and it has like 500 a month or something like that. And
be very careful of those. Be very careful of those.
Yeah, they just had all sorts of booths on Mass Ave. I don't have that myself, but I'm just saying, if somebody doesn't have a phone, it's good for them.
Right there, I used to live, off of Mass Ave, and spent years there near Harvard, and even now Harvard, has a lot of talent, and some of the most outspoken people against cell phones are there at Harvard. Dr. Martha Herbert is a pediatrician who has written books and articles about the effects of microwave radiation and the use of cell phones and the addictiveness of these wireless devices and wired devices, the screens on children. Professor Lawrence Lessig, who drafted the ordinance for Berkeley, pro bono, I might add. He's at Harvard Law School. He drafted a disclosure ordinance which passed and is in effect for the city of Berkeley, California, for disclosure to get the manufacturers of cell phones to put in big print the stuff that they already have hidden, which says, keep about an inch away from your body. The cell phones and the microwave radiation that it functions on, it is lethal. It is deadly. It was originally used as a microwave weapon. Nobody should have them.
It hits you up to 3 feet away. Like you could be 3 feet away from your phone. It's still hitting you. Yeah.
Frank. Not only the bad thing, it's like cigarettes. Not only are you killing yourself with it, but everybody in your proximity is being literally cooked too by the microwaves.
I'm hearing a Frank.
I actually I heard. Yes. I heard on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just hearing.
No, go ahead.
I'm hearing a Frank in the background. That's all.
Oh, go ahead. I'll wait till that person was done speaking.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to get off topic.
Oh, you didn't.
I just want to respond about the availability of cell phones. Not only that, but you need to know that this is just a perfect way to track you. Not only track you and surveil you, but to collect all your data, everything that you say. And
they can turn your microphone and your camera on. Yeah.
Parties, they want to know your life and your business, and then they sell the data. They make profiles on each and every one of us, and then they are making a ton of money by selling it to other people that you fit the profile for their products or services.
In the news, don't you have a conversation the next day? Something comes up in a conversation with a friend, and then the next day you get all these emails for car insurance or this or that.
Yeah.
Is this the world you want to live in?
Oh, God, no.
I don't think so. We need to boycott all these kind of wireless devices. They're not safe. They're not good. The C in cell phone stands for cancer. The L's mean lots of lies, and the the E stands for extinction, which is where we and all the animals and plants and the whole earth is headed, as long as we're under, electronic assault. Weather modification, which also uses microwave radiation.
Yeah. Sure. No.
So the solution lies in not using these devices, not buying them, not buying into the idea, and demanding and buying only safer products. And that means like landline phones.
But they've become necessary now, which is the way they wanted it,
Well, so does cancer. Cancer has become common. And it seems like people are just kind of inevitably going along with the program of self-inflicted torture and early demise.
Yeah.
Well, it needs to turn around.
It just out of the blue, I was online yesterday, and there's an attorney. His name's Brian Monet, M-O-N-E, or Moan, and he's starting some kind of lawsuit against the tracking program, the Citizens on Patrol, all that tracking, because we're being stalked everywhere we go by people who don't even know what the hell's going on. And he's actually starting a lawsuit about it. And I actually have his number, Frank, if you want to
I'd like it.
Speak to him and see.
I would like it.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, can we have it?
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'll give that to you. Hold on.
Thank you. Could do a class action. Does anybody know what Linda's
All right, his
number
name
will
is Brian J. Moan, M-O-A-N-E. I don't know if it's Monet or Moni or
Monet, I think.
But I called him today, and he's actually out of the office till Monday. His number is 1-800-540-8311.
Do you know where he's out of? What state?
Is this in Mass?
What state?
Yeah, hello?
I think we lost him.
And I think he's actually looking for people that have been stalked by these people and stuff like that.
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat his last name for me?
M-O-N-E, Moan, or Monet. I'm not quite sure what it is. I called him today, and he's out of the office till Monday. But
you know what state he's in?
He's in Massachusetts.
Beautiful.
Oh, cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah, I do a lot of checking out stuff,
Can we say you referred us?
Well, he doesn't know who I am. I tried to call him today, but he was out of the office. And, but
great.
Actually, definitely, tell him. I think the I think I have the web page somewhere on Facebook. I'll send it to you, Frank. You can check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I actually might have already. I'm not sure. I send you a lot of stuff, But yeah, I mean, this girl. First of all, he already has one client. I'm not sure her name. Her first name is Kathy, and she posted on her webpage, or one of the web pages, that he's doing some kind of a lawsuit. So,
Bill, what's your last name, if you don't mind? If you don't.
Brock, B-R-O-C-K.
Oh, pleasure to finally hear you.
Yeah, right. I send you a lot of stuff.
You sure do.
It shows that it's under William Brock, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, you know. All I do is I sit and check stuff out all day, all night, you know.
Well, anything to do with lawsuits or I'm definitely interested. Can you explain? You said citizens. What was it? Citizens Police that he was looking into stalking, or can you tell me?
Yeah,
it was.
Citizen on Patrol. That's one of the stalking groups that follow you around. Also, you know something? Let me hold on one second. Let me see if I can just find the whole thing.
I have 2 books that I really implore everybody to go and buy. They're really inexpensive from Barnes & Nobles. And this talks about what we're talking about is the stalking, the fake stops on the road, getting pulled over, quotas that they have. And then I have another book. It's called Federal Asset Forfeiture, Uses and Reforms, Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, Homeland Security, Investigations Committee on Judicial House of Representatives. Talks about criminal and civil forfeiture and stopping people and making money, basically. And the other one is Policing for Profit by a woman from Florida. Hi. It's only $20 for the Policing for Profit, and it talks about the corruption, and so that we will know about these kangaroo courts, what's going on with the lies and the falsities and false reports about us and omissions officials.
Okay, well, can you just repeat before bail starts? The two names were, one was Policing for Profit. Is that the name of the book?
Policing for Profit by Barbara Oren, O-R-D-A-N.
Okay.
Is a professor of health and health policy and management at the College of Public Health, University of South Florida. She also did some BS work, MS work, master's in UCLA. So she talks about a wide variety of this. It's called Exposing Corruption Between Police, Courts, and Corporations. And it's really good. It talks about the police, how they do what they do, and they actually, admit in here what they do, ex-police. Federal asset, the other book is Federal Asset Forfeiture, Uses and Reforms, the Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, Homeland Security, Investigations Committee on Judicial House of Representatives. And it says about the hearings, House of Representatives, Federal Asset Forfeiture, Uses and Reforms, civil forfeiture versus criminal forfeiture, administrative forfeiture, which is what they did to me, taking away my license, calling me crazy, can't get it back because I was speeding. Basis of civil forfeiture, why they use civil forfeiture, rights and counsel and attorneys, misconduct, misrepresentation. There's so much. Assisting victims of crime. Some really good stuff in here.
Yeah, that sounds like a must-read.
Ticket quotas, jail quotas.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Home rule excuse for public officials to twist the law, where everyone is guilty but given their day in court. Proprietary traffic safety establishment, the auto insurance industry, proprietary public safety establishment, other corporate interests that are making money, to collect and serve, not to protect and serve, is what it says. Arrest quotas. Reasons why the U.S. Is incarceration nation.
Hi, it's Bill again.
Okay, Bill.
Okay. I have a post, and the girl's name is Karen Lynn Morris. She posted all the targeted individuals, Google images of attorney Brian P. Monet that works for the Commonwealth Mediation in Boston, Mass. He's our guy to stop the harassment, destruction of property, tracking, and monitoring sexual harassment and invasive behavior modification programs. The DHS practices involving blacklisting, NSA profiling, and USAOnWatch.org's discrimination organization community, which is gang stalking. I'm going to share this with you, Frank.
Okay.
And just let me know about it. But I gave everybody the name and the number and stuff like that. So, you know,
thank you.
I think you got that right now. And then I try to. There's a USAOnWatch.org, which tells you all about gang stalking and stuff like that. But it got pulled. The gang stalkers shut it down. I said this, and then I seen it once, and then it says this link isn't working. After I try to go back to it.
Okay, guys. I know we have to end the call because Linda's call is coming up. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to reopen the call after Linda's call is over. So if you're still in the mood, the call will open again. Okay?
How do we get to Linda's call, Frank?
I'm trying to remember her numbers. My mind is a total blank. But
I have it.
Her access code is on TalkShoe 140. Uh-oh.
091.
I think it's 09091.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's her access.
091?
Yep.
140091. That's the access code, and the TalkShoe number I think 724-444-7444. It's the same number that you get to Ella's call.
Yep.
Okay.
Is Linda's call every Friday night?
Yes, it is.
All right. Do you have a list of all the different calls?
I'll get that to you. Well, yep.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, and
Frank, question.
Sure.
When are you guys leaving?
We're gonna. What do you mean? This call?
No, I mean for Washington. Is it the 24th?
Yeah. So we'll be leaving the 23rd.
Because I wanted to give you information on the surveillance equipment because they may take people's cell phones from them or say that they can't take pictures. And if you can, with the GoFundMe, get some of the surveillance equipment that is hidden, that you can record audio and visual.
Right.
Actually, there's a park somewhere around there that can be used for demonstrations and stuff. And I forget the exact name of the park. You can look into it, Frank. It has everything all set up for demonstrations and whatnot. It's a park. So.
Okay. Well, I'll see you guys at maybe midnight. I don't know. If you want to come back, the call's going to reopen.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Great.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Frank.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thanks, Frank.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye. Thank you.